In this video, you're going to learn how to make your own fabric paper. It's really super easy and you can use it for so many projects like some of these I'm showing you now. At the end, I'll show you all about these projects and give you links to the instructions for them. So let's get started and think, what are you going to need? You're going to be amazed how little you need and how easy it is. So your first thing you're going to need is some sort of fabric. Now I'm using an old bed sheet. You could use muslin, cheesecloth, something that's very flexible and that you can soak your glue into. Talking of glue, I'm using a PVA glue. Sometimes you need to water it down, sometimes you don't, so you'll just have to see how thick yours is. Some sort of tub to put it in and a big brush to spread it with. There's no finesse here, big brush required. You're also going to need your paper, so napkins, paper napkins are great. Any sort of tissue paper you've got. So this is something that I've got that I bought something and it was wrapped in that tissue paper. You can use paint. You can use stencils, anything you like. Another great idea is old sewing patterns if you have them, because they're a lovely thin tissue paper. And you'll notice that I'm working on a plastic background because you are going to make a mess. So put a plastic sheet down. So first of all, just cut your fabric to whatever size you want. And the first way I'm going to show you is to cover the whole thing in glue. And I am going to show you another way to do it in a moment, but this is my preferred way. I think you get a better result. Just cover the whole thing in glue. We're not talking gallons, but it all needs to be covered. So just keep going, persevere, and once you've got it all absolutely covered in glue, it's going to be time to think about what you're sticking onto it. Now it's entirely up to you what you do with your paper, but I like to cut mine into all sorts of different shapes. And you'll see I rather like my rectangles and triangles rather than the curves. So all you're going to do is take each bit of paper you want to glue down, stick it onto the glue that you've put down, and then make sure you cover the whole thing in glue. And then look where you want to put another piece. Now there's nothing to stop you getting one piece of paper and covering the whole thing with one piece, but it's all about your creativity here. So let yourself go wild, put things on where you like, mix up your colours, mix up your textures, mix up your patterns. Cut them out, tear them so that you get a different edge, and just keep going. And you are literally just going to keep going until you cover the entire fabric. Don't be afraid to overlap them. You can put as many layers on as you like. Just keep going until it's how you want it to look. So I'm not going to show you the whole thing. It's going to, as if by magic, have covered itself. And then just let it dry. Now, I recommend overnight, but if you're somewhere really hot or you've got a hot gun that you can dry it off with, you might get away with a bit quicker. But I left mine overnight, and then you're left with this flexible paper that is really strong. Now, if it's the right thickness for you, you're done. If not, you can add some more layers, or you could put some on the back even. Now, I'm going to show you a slightly different way of doing it, which is where you just put glue on to the little bit that you're putting paper on. So you can see I'm just making sure there's glue underneath it everywhere and then applying glue on the top. But I'm just doing it for the bit of paper I've got. Now, if that suits you, maybe if you're somewhere very hot, the glue is going to dry too quickly if you cover the whole thing. But exactly the same as before, just add all your pieces. And you can see this time I've used a large piece and then lots of small pieces. And if you want to, you can use paint. You can get very fancy, or as I'm doing here, you can literally just add some paint and then spread it around. You'd be amazed how effective this is at the end. You think, well, that doesn't look great, but it looks fabulous on your paper. And you could use stencils on top, and you could use stencils for your paint. You could add more glue layers, more paper layers, whatever you want to do. Please get creative. That's what this whole craft thing is about. And then you can use your paper for whatever you want. Again, when it's dry, you may feel you want to add something on the back, a whole nother layer maybe, and that's certainly what I did with one of mine because I wanted the paper double-sided. So here's the notebook I made, and if you're enjoying this, please give me a thumbs up so it spreads to more people. And on the screen you'll be able to see links to these projects, and they're in the description below. So please enjoy your fabric paper, and I hope I see you again on another video.